I built the company with my own hands, and I used to say that every desk, every screen, every tired smile inside the office came from nights I refused to quit. This place is family, I told people on their first day. We grow together. They laughed, nodded, and shook my hand like it meant something permanent. Boss, you're early again, Mark said one morning, leaning on my doorframe. Habit, I said. If I stop showing up first, the walls might forget me. He laughed. Profits won't. Last quarter beat expectations. Elaine walked in with a tablet. Investors are happy. Very happy, she said. One even asked if we're planning expansion. I smiled. We expand when we're ready, not when greed taps the glass. Elaine smiled back. Mark clapped once. That's why people follow you, he said. Every morning followed the same rhythm. Coffee burned my tongue. Someone cracked a joke about the printer. I listened to problems, signed approvals, and believed trust was stronger than any clause written in small letters. Why don't you lock things down more? Mark once asked. Contracts. Controls. I waved it off. If you need chains to keep people honest, you already lost. Elaine nodded. Culture matters more than paperwork. That sentence stayed with me, warm and reassuring. At lunch, we sat together. No closed doors, no hierarchy. Just voices overlapping. Remember the garage days? Mark said. I remember sleeping on the floor, I said, and thinking failure would kill me. Elaine laughed. Look at you now. You survived. I believed that meant we all survived together. The numbers kept climbing. Clients renewed early. Investors sent thank you emails. Success felt quiet, not loud, like a steady heartbeat. Still, something scratched at me. A pause when I entered a room. A look exchanged too fast to read. You okay? Elaine asked one afternoon. Just tired, I said. Good tired, she hesitated, then smiled. You've earned it. That night I stayed late, finishing emails. Laughter echoed from the conference room. Mark's voice. Elaine's too. He won't notice, someone said. We just need alignment, another replied. I stepped closer. The door opened. Silence fell like a dropped plate. Mark blinked. Oh, didn't see you there. Elaine cleared her throat. We were just talking strategy. I nodded. Good. Strategy keeps us alive. They smiled too quickly. I walked away, telling myself I was imagining things. Hard work fixes everything, I believed. Trust always pays back. Still, as the lights dimmed behind me, the laughter didn't return. I told myself it meant nothing. I went home convinced loyalty was enough, unaware that something had already started moving without me. The next morning, I clapped my hands near the open floor. All right, team. 5 minutes, I said. Someone whistled. Chairs scraped. Faces turned toward me, smiling, relaxed. Revenue is up, I said. Clients are renewing. That's your work, not mine. Applause followed. Mark nodded proudly. Elaine typed notes. This company exists because we trust each other, I continued. No secrets. No games. Mark raised his coffee. To trust, Elaine echoed it. To loyalty. After the meeting, Mark walked beside me. You ever think about stepping back? He asked casually. Letting others carry weight? I already do, I said. That's why I hired you. He smiled. Just checking. Elaine stopped me near HR. We should review policy soon, she said. Just housekeeping. Sure, I replied. If it helps you sleep, she laughed. You're impossible. As I walked to my office, I caught my reflection in the glass. I looked calm, certain, untouchable. I told myself leaders don't doubt good people. Doubt poisons teams. Behind me, voices dropped again. I didn't turn around this time. I sat down, opened my laptop, and started another day, fully believing the family I built would never lock me out. That belief felt solid then, even as silence grew heavier in corners I refused to see. I walked toward the conference room expecting coffee, jokes, noise, routine. The door was closed, which was rare. I pushed it open without knocking. Voices stopped. My name hung in the air, unfinished, heavy, spoken like a problem instead of a person. I felt suddenly unwelcome inside my own company. Mark sat at the table, hands flat, eyes wide. Elaine stood near the screen, staring at the wall behind me. Someone cleared a throat. Nobody spoke. Silence stretched until it hurt. I realized I was not invited, not expected, not wanted. The room felt hostile, cold, and suddenly unfamiliar there. What's going on? I asked, forcing calm into my voice. Mark swallowed hard. Elaine wouldn't look at me. A man I barely recognized closed his laptop. We were discussing risk, he said, operational exposure. My chest tightened before my mind caught up. I sensed something breaking without any visible sound. I scanned the screen behind Elaine and saw my name in bold. Beside it were words I never expected. Liability, succession, replacement, legal workaround. Each term landed like a slap. I felt heat in my face, confusion outrunning anger, questions stacking faster than answers. Nobody explained anything and nobody apologized. I think I should leave, I said slowly. No one argued. That hurt more than shouting would have. I stepped out, heart pounding, ears ringing. The hallway felt longer than usual. I told myself it was stress, nothing more, just miscommunication. Companies have tense meetings. Leaders don't always attend everything. Later, I cornered Mark near the elevator. What was that? I asked. He laughed too quickly. You surprised everyone, he said. It was a planning session. Words get thrown around. He blamed pressure, deadlines, investors. His tone sounded reasonable, practiced, safe. I nodded, because doubt felt heavier than belief then. Elaine? I asked later. She folded her arms. You're reading too much into it, she said. HR plans for worst cases. She smiled, professional and distant. I wanted to trust them. I needed to. Admitting otherwise meant admitting my foundation might be cracked. I chose comfort over curiosity, like always. That evening, Daniel called me. Our lawyer never called casually. Review your contracts, he said quietly. Tonight. I laughed nervously. Is this about the meeting? Silence answered me. Just read them, he repeated. His voice carried caution, not accusation. I thanked him, pretending not to hear the warning inside myself. I opened my laptop after midnight. The apartment was quiet. I scrolled past clauses I had skimmed years ago. Authority, removal, board consent. I read slower now, breath shallow. The language felt cold, exact, unforgiving. My name appeared often, but ownership felt strangely absent. My hands started shaking without permission. I reread one section 3 times. It described me as an employee, not a founder. Termination under special circumstances. Temporary suspension of access. I whispered no to the empty room. This company carried my blood in years, yet the paper didn't care. Paper never cares. I felt small and replaceable. I closed the laptop and stared at the ceiling. Memories replayed in reverse. Trust, handshakes, laughter, warnings ignored. Daniel's voice echoed again. Review your contracts. I realized this wasn't paranoia, it was preparation happening without me. My company might already belong to paperwork, not me. The thoughts feel impossible. I checked my phone. No messages. No apologies. No explanations. I told myself morning would clarify everything. I lay down fully dressed, staring into darkness. Denial wrapped around me like a blanket. I wasn't ready to accept that the company I built could legally push me aside. It felt unreal. Before sleep finally came, one truth settled in. I was not losing control loudly. I was losing it quietly, politely, on paper. Somewhere between trust and law, something had shifted. I'd promised myself I would understand it, even if understanding hurt more than ignorance ever did. I needed answers, desperately. I stopped pretending after Daniel sent the files. I opened them at my desk, hands cold, heart loud. These came from the board archive, his message said. Look carefully. I did. My signature stared back at me, perfect and fake. Dates shifted. Clauses added. Resolutions approved by people who never voted. The betrayal was neat, professional, signed in ink. I called Elaine first. Did you change these? I asked. She exhaled slowly. We did what was necessary. For who? I asked. For the company's future, she said. That sentence broke something inside me. You erased me, I said. That's your future? You were emotional, she replied. Unpredictable. I laughed once, sharp and empty. You taught me loyalty, I said. You trained HR to protect people. Not one person, she said. An organization. I ended the call before I said something I couldn't take back. Sophia knocked quietly an hour later. I sat on the edge of my couch, shoes still on, box at my feet, lights off. I should have seen it, I said to the empty room. Every ignored pause replayed itself. Every smile felt staged now. Rage rose, then collapsed into shame. I built it, I whispered. How did I let them do this? Daniel called before midnight. You're not powerless, he said. I was escorted out, I snapped. They forged my name. They used loopholes, he replied. Not crimes. That matters. So I'm supposed to accept it? I asked. No, he said calmly. You're supposed to understand it. I paced. I want them exposed. And I want you free, he said. Those aren't the same thing. Silence stretched. If I confront them, I said, they'll spin it. Yes. If I threaten them? You lose. If I walk away? They win permanently. I sat down hard. So what do I do? You stop reacting, Daniel said. You start reading. Reading won't give me my company back, I said. No, he replied, but it'll show you how they took it. I laughed bitterly. That's supposed to help? It's supposed to protect you, he said. Emotion is expensive in court. I stared at the box. They made me look unstable. They documented you, he corrected. There's a difference. I rubbed my face. I trusted them. I know, Daniel said. That's why you're angry at yourself. That hit harder than the betrayal. So what now? I asked quietly. I want you to meet someone, he said. Tomorrow. Another lawyer? No, he said. An auditor. I frowned. Why? He spent 30 years tearing companies apart without raising his voice. The next afternoon, I sat across from Mr. Collins in a small office. He didn't shake my hand. He studied me. You look tired, he said. I was removed, I replied. Legally, he said. That's important. They stole it, I said. He leaned forward. No, he said. They borrowed it using rules. I clenched my jaw. Same thing. No, he said again. Stealing is messy. Borrowing leaves records. I paused. They planned it. Of course, he said. Arrogant people always do. I looked at Daniel. What's he saying? Mr. Collins answered. If they use the law to steal from you, you can use the law to erase them. The sentence landed clean. No anger. No drama. Just truth. Erase them how? I asked. Patiently, he said. Quietly, correctly. Daniel nodded. Compliance. Governance. Procedure. I laughed weakly. That sounds boring. It's devastating, Mr. Collins said. I leaned back. So no revenge? No, he said. Justice. I thought of Mark's laugh. Elaine's sentence. My name coming off the door. I don't want to beg, I said. You won't, Daniel said. I don't want to explode. You can't afford to, Mr. Collins replied. I exhaled slowly. Then tell me what to do, Mr. Collins smiled faintly. First, you disappear, Daniel added, and you listen. I nodded. I can do that. I stood. The anger didn't vanish, but it sharpened. I won't fight them emotionally, I said. Mr. Collins picked up his pen. Good. I'll fight them legally, I finished. Daniel smiled. Now you're ready. I walked back into my apartment lighter than I entered. The box stayed unopened. I sat at the table, opened my laptop, and pulled up the contracts again. This time I didn't feel fear. I felt focus. They think I'm done, I said to myself. I cracked my knuckles and whispered, I'm just getting educated. I stopped showing up anywhere that mattered. No office. No meetings. No social calls. Disappear, Mr. Collins had said. Silence makes people careless. I took his advice seriously. My world shrank to a table, a laptop, and pages of rules everyone assumed I never read. This clause, Mr. Collins said over a call. Who enforced it? Elaine, I answered. And who violated it? Elaine, I said again. He hummed. People forget rules apply to them too. I highlighted sections, flagged dates, cross-checked emails. They rewrote procedures, I said. Then ignored them. That's arrogance, he replied. Arrogance leaves paper trails. I wasn't angry anymore. I was curious. So power isn't shouting, I said. No, he replied. Power is knowing where silence breaks policy. One afternoon, Rachel emailed me. I'm scared, she wrote. I think I did something wrong. I invited her for coffee, neutral ground, no pressure. I just followed instructions, she said, hands shaking. From who? I asked gently. Mark, she whispered. And Elaine approved. Did you question it? She shook her head. They said it was urgent, I nodded. Did they ask you to backdate entries? Yes, she said quickly. They said it was normal. It isn't, I said. But you're not the target, she looked up. Then who is? The system they abused, I answered. I didn't threaten her. I didn't promise protection. I just listened. She spoke for an hour. Dates, names, emails. Each sentence closed another loop. Later, Mr. Collins reviewed my notes. "You're not chasing people," he said. "You're mapping violations." "That's the difference," I replied. "Exactly," he said. Emotions chase. Systems trap. Days blurred together. Labor law. Compliance manuals, internal audits. I learned how my staff broke rules they once lectured others about. Mandatory approvals skipped. Separation of duties ignored. Confidential access misused. "They enforce discipline," I said to Mr. Collins, "until it touched them." He chuckled. "Hypocrisy always leaves fingerprints." Rachel sent documents quietly, so did 2 others anonymously. Nobody needed threats. Fear did the work for me. I stayed calm. Calm felt unnatural at first. "You're changing," Mr. Collins observed. I stopped asking why, I said. I started asking how. "How what?" he asked. "How systems punish arrogance," I replied. He smiled. "Now you're dangerous." One night, Daniel called. "They're asking about you." "Let them," I said. "They think you gave up." "I'm studying," I replied. I closed my laptop and leaned back. "They thought I was emotional?" I said aloud. "They were right," I paused. "I just learned to aim it." The rules weren't boring anymore. They were weapons, quiet and precise. I wasn't planning revenge. I was preparing inevitability. Before sleeping, I wrote one sentence on a notepad. "Do not rush." I underlined it twice. The man who trusted smiles was gone. In his place sat someone patient, organized, and invisible. That scared me a little. It thrilled me more. I turned off the light and whispered, "They taught me the game." Then I smiled. They just forgot I learned fast. I triggered the audit with one email. "Routine compliance review," I wrote. Nothing dramatic, no accusations. Just paperwork. Daniel replied, "Submitted," Mr. Collins added. "Now wait." Waiting felt heavier than action, but I stayed quiet. Elaine called the next morning. "Why is compliance request in files?" She asked. "Routine," I said. "This timing is strange," she snapped. "So are forged signatures," I replied, then hung up. An hour later, Mark exploded during a board call. I listened silently. "This is unnecessary," he shouted. "We're clean." Someone asked why files were missing. He cursed. I imagined his face turning red, the mask slipping. Regulators arrived 2 days later. "No warning, clipboards, polite smiles. We'll need access," one said. Elaine's voice shook when she greeted them. "Of course," she said. "Anything you need." They needed everything. Rachel called me crying. "I didn't know," she said. "They told me it was approved." "I know," I replied. "Tell the truth." "I'm scared," she whispered. "I'll handle the system," I said. "You handle honesty." She cooperated fully. Emails surfaced. Dates didn't match. Reports conflicted. One spreadsheet contradicted another. The auditors noticed. They always do. A manager resigned overnight. No explanation, just an email. Personal reasons. I read it without emotion. I felt no joy. Just weight lifting slowly. Elaine stopped calling. Mark didn't. He waited until midnight. "We should talk," he said. "I'm listening," I replied. "You didn't have to do this," he said. "You did," I answered. Silence followed. I didn't return Mark's call. I didn't answer emails. I didn't react at all. Silence was the loudest thing I had. Mr. Collins warned me. When people panic, they talk. He was right. They started tearing each other apart without me lifting a finger. Elaine emailed the board first. "Mark authorized everything," she wrote. "I followed procedure." I read it slowly. 5 minutes later, Mark replied to everyone. "Elaine approved every action," he wrote. HR signed off. The tone was sharp, desperate. I watched blame move like fire, looking for oxygen. Daniel forwarded messages all day. "You should see this," he said. "And this." I didn't comment. I didn't advise. I didn't threaten. I let the rules speak in their own dry language. Kevin called me at night. Middle manager, quiet guy. "I need protection," he said. "From who?" I asked. "Everyone," he replied. "They're lying." "Tell the truth," I said. He swallowed. "They told me to destroy emails. Elaine said it was legal. Mark said it was urgent." "Did you?" I asked. "Yes, but I saved copies." I closed my eyes. "Send them to Daniel." "I don't want to lose my job," he said. "I'm not firing anyone," I replied. "The rules will decide." He exhaled. Thank you. More messages leaked. Accusations escalated. People who once shared lunches now documented each other. I heard Elaine screamed in a meeting. Mark walked out of another. Nobody mentioned my name anymore unless it was followed by legal exposure, Rachel emailed once. They're scared, she wrote. I know, I replied. A senior manager sent a resignation at 3 a.m. another followed by noon. No goodbyes, no speeches. Just exits. The system was correcting itself. Daniel asked, Do you want to step in? No, I said. Let it run. Some of this is ugly, he warned. So was betrayal, I replied. Elaine finally called. This is getting out of control, she said. You controlled it, I answered. She went quiet. Mark did this. He couldn't without help, I said. You're enjoying this, she snapped. I feel nothing, I replied honestly. Mark emailed me directly. They're lying to save themselves, he wrote. So are you, I typed back, then deleted it. Silence was still better. Mr. Collins smiled when I updated him. They're cannibalizing, he said. I don't want blood, I said. Just truth. Truth always costs someone, he replied. Kevin sent another file. This proves coordination, he said. Thank you, I replied. That was all. The power shift was quiet but absolute. They reacted. I decided, they begged, I waited, nobody asked me to return. Nobody dared. That night I poured a drink and didn't touch it. I don't need revenge, I said to myself. I need order. I closed my laptop and watched the city lights. Somewhere, emails were being written, stories rewritten, alliances collapsing. I wasn't part of it anymore. I was above it. My phone buzzed once. Mark again. I let it ring. Then I turned it off. For the first time since I was escorted out, I felt steady, not angry, not afraid. Just certain. They're destroying each other, I whispered. And for the first time, I understood real power isn't force. It's restraint. I returned to the building with a temporary badge and a different title, consultant. The guard read aloud. I nodded. The office smelled the same. People avoided my eyes. The court order sat in my pocket, heavier than paper. Linda met me near the boardroom. We didn't expect this, she said. You expected silence, I replied. She sighed. We underestimated you. I know, I said. The hearings began one by one. No audience. No drama. Just files, signatures, voices. The first manager sat stiffly. This is unfair, he said. The contract says otherwise, I replied. You're doing this personally. I'm doing this correctly, I said. He stood abruptly. You'll regret it. I already did, I answered. He left without shaking my hand. The second begged. I have kids, she whispered. I know, I said. That doesn't change policy, she cried softly, then sighed. The third said nothing at all. He slid the paper back, nodded once, and walked out. Elaine was last that morning. She tried to speak and failed. Tears broke through. I thought I was protecting everyone, she said. You protected power, I replied. She covered her face. I'm sorry, I believe you, I said. It's just too late. Mark came in loud. This won't stand, he snapped. I'll sue. You already did, I said, and lost. He leaned forward. You think this makes you king? No, I said calmly. It makes me compliant. He laughed bitterly. You were weak. I was trusting, I corrected. Linda watched quietly. After he stormed out, she said, I should have listened earlier. You're listening now, I replied. The day blurred into voices and signatures, anger, fear, relief, silence. Each termination felt identical on paper and different in the eyes across from me. By evening, the office was hollow. Desks empty. Chairs pushed in. The noise gone. Linda walked me out. You won, she said. I shook my head. I finished. I stood alone near my old office. My name wasn't back yet. I didn't care. I felt tired, not triumphant. Just empty, like something heavy finally set down. I handed the badge back. See you tomorrow, the guard said. Maybe, I replied. Outside, the air felt colder. I didn't smile. I didn't celebrate. I just breathed. One termination at a time, I said quietly, and went home. I met Mark in a quiet cafe 2 blocks from the office. He looked smaller without authority. No suit. No confidence. Just a man staring into cold coffee. Thanks for coming, he said. I didn't come for you, I replied. I came for clarity. He nodded. I lost everything. I know, I said. He swallowed. It wasn't supposed to go this far. It always does, I said. He rubbed his hands together. I envied you. I raised an eyebrow. That's it? Yes, he said. Not logic. Not strategy, envy. I leaned back. You had power. But you had purpose, he said. People listened to you. They trusted you too, I said. Not the same way, he replied. You built something. I just managed it. Silence sat between us. You could have asked, I said. I was afraid you'd say no, he replied. So you erased me instead, I said. He nodded slowly. I thought removing you would make me you. And? I asked. It made me nothing, he said. My phone buzzed. Elaine's name. Then an email preview. Long, detailed. Apologetic. I locked the screen. She wrote, I said. She's broken, Mark said. I know, I replied. I won't answer. He looked up. Why not? Because closure doesn't require conversation, I said. He stared. So this is it? Yes, I said. This is understanding. He sighed. I thought you'd enjoy this. I don't, I replied. I needed my dignity back. That's all? He asked. That's everything, I said. We stood. He hesitated. I'm sorry. I believe you, I said. It just doesn't change anything. Outside, the city moved on. I walked back to the building alone. The lobby echoed. Desks were dark. Chairs empty. No laughter. No whispers. I unlocked my old office. The door creaked. The dust floated. My nameplate leaned against the wall, not mounted yet. I picked it up. You mattered, I told myself. Elaine's email stayed unread. Forgiveness crossed my mind, then passed. Some apologies arrive after the door closes. I walked the floor slowly. Each step felt final. I didn't win, I said aloud. I returned. I turned off the lights and left the silence behind. I paused at the doorway and listened to the building breathe. Memories pressed in, sharp and clear. I remembered first hires, late nights, cheap pizza, loud dreams. None of it belonged to them anymore. It belonged to me. Closure isn't forgiveness, I said softly. It's permission to move. I walked past empty cubicles. My footsteps answered me. I didn't feel anger. I felt alignment, like my spine finally straightened. My phone buzzed again. Elaine's email reopened itself in my mind. Paragraphs of regret. Explanations. Fear. I didn't hate her. I just didn't need her words to validate what I survived. I don't need an apology to be whole. I said. I didn't rush hiring. We move slow, I told Linda. No shortcuts. That will cost time, she said. It already cost me years, I replied. The first interviews felt different. No jokes. No charm tests. Just questions. How do you document decisions? I asked. One candidate blinked. I usually trust my manager. Not enough, I said. Another answered. I write everything. Good, I replied. You'll hear back. Systems came first. Clear authority lines, mandatory approvals, shared access logs. When someone complained, I said, this isn't about trust. It's about clarity. Sophia came back quietly. She stood at my door, hands folded. I don't expect anything, she said. I expect honesty, I replied. You'll get that, she said. I nodded. Sit down. Rachel walked in later, nervous. You wanted to see me? Yes, I said. I'm promoting you, her mouth opened. Why? Because you told the truth when it hurt, I said. She swallowed. I won't let you down. Don't promise loyalty, I replied. Promise accuracy. She smiled through tears. I can do that. The office filled slowly. New faces, new energy, less noise. During meetings, I listened more than I spoke. Should we trust them? Someone asked about a vendor. We verify them, I said. Sophia laughed once. You've changed. I learned, I replied. One afternoon, a new hire asked, do you want us to feel like family? I paused. I want you to feel safe, I said. Families forgive too much. Silence followed. Then nods. Boundaries felt strange at first. No late-night confessions. No blurred roles, but problems surfaced earlier. People spoke up. This process is broken, Rachel said in a meeting. Show me, I replied. She did. We fixed it. No drama. No fear. Linda watched from the corner. They respect you, she said later. They understand me, I corrected. Sophia handed me a report. Everything's logged, she said. Thank you, I replied. She hesitated. Do you trust us? I looked up. I trust systems, I said gently. People benefit from them. She nodded. That feels safer. It was one evening I stayed late alone. The office hummed softly. No whispers. No tension, just work. I used to think closeness made leaders strong, I said to myself. It made me blind. Now distance gave clarity. Transparency gave peace. Rachel stopped by my door. Go home, she said. We've got this, I smiled. I know. As I left, I felt lighter. Not because I rebuilt fast, but because I rebuilt right. Fear used to drive me. Fear of loss. Fear of conflict. Now structure held everything in place. I locked the door and whispered, "This is enough." And for the first time, it truly was. I sat alone in my office after everyone left. Lights low, window open. You survived, I said out loud. The words didn't sound dramatic. They sounded factual. That mattered. Months ago, I would have called myself betrayed. Now I called myself changed. I wasn't weak, I said. I was unguarded. The difference settled something inside me. I replayed old moments without anger. Trusting smiles. Ignored warnings. You wanted harmony more than truth, I told myself. That was your mistake. Saying it without hate felt like progress. Daniel called. How do you feel? He asked. Calm, I replied. Relieved? No, I said. Aligned. He paused. That's better. After the call, I walked the floor slowly. New desks. New names. Clear systems. No fear hiding behind politeness. This works, I said quietly. Sophia passed my door earlier and said, You seem lighter. I put something down, I told her. What? She asked. The need to be liked, I replied. She smiled. That's leadership. I thought about Mark, Elaine, the chaos. They didn't break me, I said to myself. They revealed me. The old version of me avoided conflict. This one respected it. You don't grow by being spared, I said. You grow by being tested. Rachel emailed a report. Clear, accurate, honest. I replied, approved. Nothing else was needed. I leaned back and closed my eyes. No racing thoughts. No rehearsed conversations, just silence. The good cut. I blamed myself for trusting, I said. But trust wasn't wrong. Blindness was. That distinction freed me. I opened my notebook and wrote one line. Accountability starts with me. I underlined it once, not twice. The company survived. Revenue stabilized. Reputation recovered. But those were outcomes, not identity. I'm still here, I whispered. That's the win. I didn't crave apologies anymore. I didn't imagine revenge scenarios. Closure arrived quietly, like breath returning after panic. I remembered sitting on my couch with a box at my feet. You thought you lost everything, I told that version of myself. You lost illusions. That felt fair. Linda stopped by earlier and said, You're different. I hope so, I replied. You're steadier, she said. I stopped running from discomfort, I answered. Night settled in. The city hummed. I turned off my screen and stood. You don't need to prove anything, I told myself. Just protect what matters. I locked the office and walked out slowly. My reflection followed in the glass. Older, calmer, still standing. Outside, I inhaled deeply. You're not a victim, I said. You're a survivor who learned. That felt honest. I went home without checking messages. I cooked something simple. I ate without distraction. Life didn't end, I said. It clarified. Before sleep, I looked at the ceiling and smiled faintly. You lost everything, I repeated. And found yourself. The thought didn't excite me. It grounded me. I turned off the light knowing tomorrow wouldn't test my anger or pride. It would test consistency. I was ready for that. For the first time since betrayal knocked on my door, I didn't brace myself. I rested. And in that rest, I understood something final. I wasn't rebuilt by revenge. I was rebuilt by responsibility. I stood in the hallway while the clerk finished the paperwork. Congratulations, she said. Control has been fully restored. The words landed softly, without fireworks. I signed once and handed the pen back. Outside, reporters waited. Any statement? One asked. No, I said. Do you forgive them? Another shouted. I'm not here for that, I replied. They kept pushing. Is this revenge? I shook my head. This is resolution. I walked past cameras and entered the building alone. No escort, no badge swap, just keys that worked again. The elevator hummed quietly. When the doors opened, I stepped into the office floor and felt nothing rush at me. That surprised me. My door stood closed. The nameplate was back where it belonged. I touched it lightly, tracing each letter. They took my trust, I whispered, not my name. Linda appeared behind me. It's official, she said. I know, I replied. Do you want a press release? No, I said. She nodded. Anything you need? Time, I answered. She left me alone. I stepped inside my office and closed the door. The room felt familiar but lighter. I sat at my desk and didn't open my laptop. I just breathed. This is peace, I said quietly. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I ignored it. Another buzz. I turned the phone face down. Not today, I told it. I stood and looked out the window. The city moved the same way it always had. Nothing changed out there, I said. Everything changed in here. Sophia knocked once and peeked in. They're waiting for guidance, she said. Tell them to keep working, I replied. The system holds. She smiled. Welcome back. I never left, I said. Rachel emailed. Audit complete. Clean. Thank you, I replied. That was enough. I walked the floor slowly, listening to keyboards, calm voices, normal work. No fear, no whispers. This is how it should sound, I said to myself. At my door again, I paused. I don't feel victorious, I said aloud. I felt steady. Reporters called again.